I think that if thievery is ever introduced seriously into Mortal Online 2, then it cannot be done through the same old lazy formula. You cannot just throw in a stealing skill, add a theft button, and call it a day, because if this new mechanic is added in a shallow, simplistic way, without depth, without preparation, without risk, and without atmosphere, then it will go straight to hell, just like so many half-baked systems do. People will either abuse it, hate it, or ignore it. And in the end, instead of getting a great new profession, the game will end up with another broken, half-finished mechanic. That is why, in my opinion, thievery should not be introduced as a single feature. It should be introduced as a complete underground progression path, not as a cheap trick, but as a full dark specialization with its own economy, its own crafting, its own supplies, its own gameplay loop, and its own identity. And this is where a very strong idea appears, not just a thief, but a thief armorer. In other words, a system where the ability to steal properly is tied not only to skill points, but also to specially prepared armor that has to be crafted the right way. But the most important part is this: that armor should not look like some ridiculous clown costume that instantly screams to the entire server, "Here comes a thief." That completely kills the fantasy. A thief should not reveal himself just by appearance. In a proper system, thief armor should look like completely normal soft armor, the same kind of armor many regular characters already wear. That way, a thief can truly blend into crowds and into the world, instead of walking around with a giant sign on his forehead. The difference should not be in the visual model, but in the hidden internal component. In other words, a normal-looking piece of soft armor should only become thief armor because a special hidden criminal component was embedded into it during crafting. Some kind of vessel, infusion, shadow lining, smuggler's insert, whatever the name ends up being. The important thing is the concept. It should not be decorative. It should be a real, charged component that grants access to actual thievery actions. This idea fits very well with existing concepts like spiritism. Just as spiritists charge vessels, a thief should have to commit real theft and real dark deeds in order to charge special thief vessels, and then invest that energy into armor crafting. And this is where the system becomes truly interesting. To make real thief armor, it should not be enough to gather normal resources and press craft. No, first the player should need to obtain or charge special thief vessels, and that charge should come specifically from criminal or semi-criminal activity. In other words, a thief should have to commit theft in order to empower his own profession. That is already beautiful from a design perspective. You do not just learn a skill and magically become a thief. You have to prove it through action. And those vessels should not be charged only through PvP. That is a very important point. Because if everything depends only on stealing from players, the system will quickly become either toxic or empty. So thief vessels should also be chargeable through PvE content. Pilfering from humanoids, bandits, raiders, smugglers, rogue camps, ruins, hidden stashes, and other gray zone content. That means a thief can build and sustain his profession not only through player interaction, but also through interaction with the world itself. That immediately makes the mechanic broader, more alive, and more sustainable. Your original idea about hidden prepared armor, rare criminal components, black market sources, bandits, and an underground crafting path fits this direction perfectly. Then those charged thief vessels could either be sold, just like spiritists sell their own specialized materials, or used personally if the player wants to craft thief armor. And that immediately creates a new economy. Some players would specialize in obtaining and charging the vessels. Others would specialize in crafting the armor itself. Others would trade the components. Others would take custom orders for specific builds. That starts to feel like a real living profession, not some cheap side skill. And the armor itself should not just give a dumb flat bonus like plus 20% theft chance. No, that is far too primitive. It should unlock functionality, the ability to access theft actions, better pickpocketing opportunities, reduced chance of being noticed, lower noise generation, faster recovery after thief actions, and of course, stealth. Without proper stealth, the entire system falls apart. A thief without stealth is not a thief, he is a joke. If the game wants thievery to feel atmospheric and respectable instead of ridiculous, then stealth has to be central, not decorative. And I would add one more thing. Thieves should receive a meaningful theft buff at night. Nighttime should not just be a visual change, it should actually empower the thief archetype. Darkness should matter. A thief operating under cover of night should have an easier time remaining unnoticed, moving in stealth, and successfully performing theft-related actions. This would make the world feel more alive, make the class fantasy stronger, and encourage players to plan their crimes around time, atmosphere, and opportunity. That is exactly the kind of immersion a thievery system needs. So in an ideal version of this design, you cannot simply decide to steal whenever you want. You need specially prepared soft armor. That armor looks normal and does not visually expose you, but it has been charged through real criminal acts and created through special underground crafting. You should need several qualifying pieces, not just one magical glove. Chest, gloves, maybe another piece.
That way, the system cannot be abused by ridiculous hybrid builds that slap on one enchanted item and suddenly become armored master thieves. And of course, heavy armor should interfere with all of this. If someone wants to be a real thief, he should have to pay for it through his playstyle. It should not be possible to walk around like a tank in metal armor while also functioning as a perfect pickpocket. No. The thief should remain a light, subtle, opportunistic character, not a plated monster with theft abilities. There is also another important point. Some people may argue that if thief armor has to be crafted, then the crafter would expose the identity of the criminal. But that is exactly why the system also needs a disguise kit for dark deeds, not just hidden armor, but actual tools of concealment. A player who lives through crime should be able to disguise himself, alter his appearance, hide his identity, and avoid immediate recognition. Otherwise, everything collapses back into a shallow metagame where everyone knows everything in advance and no real shadow life exists. And this is the most important part of all. All of this needs to be implemented together, not in fragments, not in the usual way where first they add theft, then 6 months later maybe they think about stealth, then sometime later they remember disguise kits, and maybe a year after that they finally touch the crafting side. No, that is exactly how new mechanics end up going straight to hell. Because players are given a raw, unfinished concept without the supporting systems, without atmosphere, and without a complete gameplay loop. Then everyone acts surprised when it turns out broken, frustrating, or boring. If Thievers is going to be added to Mortal Online 2, then it needs a full cycle from the start. Charging thief vessels through theft and pilfering. The ability to gain charge not only from PvP, but also from PvE bandits and other humanoids. Creating hidden thief armor through embedded criminal components. Proper stealth as a core pillar. A disguise kit for dark deeds. An economy around buying and selling charged vessels. Restrictions based on armor type. And a meaningful nighttime buff that makes thieves stronger after dark. Only then will this feel like a real profession, a real underground path, a living shadow system inside the world of Mortal. That kind of implementation could turn thievery into one of the most atmospheric and unique mechanics in the game, instead of making it another embarrassment, another cheap gimmick, or another source of endless complaints. But for that to happen, the developers need to stop thinking in fragments. Thievery cannot be implemented with the attitude of, let us just throw something in for now. No. If they want this new mechanic to avoid going straight to hell, then they need to implement all of it from the beginning. The full structure, the full atmosphere, the full foundation. Because a good thief in a game like this is not a button.
It is an entire shadow life.